Hello everyone. Today I am back with one of the interesting video which is my personal favorite. I invited one of my talented friend who recently joined PayPal as a software engineer too. We are going to talk a lot about his interview experience, how he prepared himself to get into his dream job, complete a strategy, whatever he followed. Everything we are going to discuss in this video. So let's dive into this engaging section. So my name is Devraj. Welcome to my channel. Let's welcome Vignesh Raja, who is working as a software engineer at PayPal. Thank you so much, Vignesh, for accepting this invite. We're gonna talk a lot about you, but instead of I telling about yourself first, maybe you can go ahead and tell about your background, a basic introduction. Will that be nice?
So initially, to start with a fun thing, like we both have joined, Wipro at the same time, same day. So 2019 June 3rd, I started my career. So at Wipro, initially my journey was like it was like a roller coaster, right? Because initially when I started my career, right, first 1 year was not really good actually at Wipro because the training period was gone for almost 2.5 months, and then free pool bench period. And then what happened, like I got a small project, there things were not really going good. The very basic things were going on, training the React. I was learning React there. And what happened then, COVID happened. Then in the next 3-4 months, right, 2020 March, COVID happened. So again that project got ramped down. So my first 1 year was not really good. So then in the lockdown period, I got one project. It was a pretty much testing project. So there I have developed, I learned Selenium, I developed automation frameworks and all those stuff. And then I was not even able to do that for 6 months because, all that we wanted to do is software development, right? That is why we joined good company. So then I tried and got some support kind of a project where I was able to do some at least couple of bug fixes, DB optimizations, all those stuffs. So that was all about my Wipro journey. It was 3 years. Then I jumped on to Amazon. Amazon, it was not a SDE role, of course, because the amount of experience that I had is testing as well as support. So for this, definitely no one is going to give you a SD role. So I got an role called application engineer. So there it is also kind of a similar role where you have to do testing if needed, you have to work on front end if needed, if you have to work on back end if needed. So it's kind of a an hybrid role. So there I went on to no again initially it started with some kind of a automation kind of a stuffs, and then I moved on to work on some front end actually, on some accessibility issues, fixing some accessibility issues. So these kind of this is what it has been going on at Amazon. And then I wanted to really do some work on challenging stuffs, software development. That is what we all want to do very badly, right? So what I did is I was like, there were a couple of projects that was coming to us into our team. So I badly wanted to do that, but I know that I didn't really add that skill set to work on that. It's a kind of a back end project. We need to develop a kind of a new API. It's a filters API. So I don't want to go dive deep into the projects and all. It was basically that is what I was trying to. So there, I didn't really add a knowledge where I have to start if I need to upskill myself, if I have to become a good backend developer. My aim was to become a backend developer because I love Java. I love coding in Java so a lot. So I wanted to do that. So what I did is I joined Scalar. Scalar, in the first 6 months, I learned lots of things, DSA, LLD, all those stuff. From there, with that kind of knowledge, I asked my manager that I will pick up this project, and luckily I was able to do that really good in the stipulated time. So that was my first breakthrough from all this initial stages of career. I struggled a lot in my initial stages of career. So from there, and I went on to prepare a lot to because whatever I did, I was still in an application engineer role. I was not an SD, right? So I wanted to move to SD role. So that is where PayPal interviews and all those stuffs came up, and I prepared, and then I'm SD2 at PayPal.
Story, Vignesh. We can talk a lot about the interview experience and the rounds, whatever you attended. So before that, like, how did you got the opportunity first? Because you are from an application engineer background, right? And also you said in Wipro you didn't got much development opportunity. So from that stage, how did you got an opportunity for software development? So did you targeted only DSA, or you also targeted some other development, like by doing some project yourself? Can you tell about that?
Honestly, nowadays people think that most of software devs have who want to do such a transition, right? They don't have a knowledge on where what is the important thing to do. They think that okay, when if we have DSA in our resume, we will get some good companies, or if we do some lead code streaks, that we will land up in a good dream job. But that is not the case. You have to have some really good challenging things that you have done in your resume, I mean in your profile, that you can mention in the resume. But most of the time we end up not getting such projects. Luckily I got one and I was able to add it in the resume. And so for your question, the answer is like one or two projects that it was really challenging, so I mentioned that in my resume. And also I myself did lots of what to say background work in like developing my own APIs in backend project from the scratch, Spring Boot, Java, using to always stay in touch in backend development areas, technical areas. So that is, I used to do that, and whatever I do I mention in my resume. So I don't shy away from mentioning my project, my own project that I do in my resume, because at the end of the day that defines us. Someone who is looking at your resume has to know that you are a constant learner, who is not someone who did something 2 years ago but not done anything challenging or anything new learning in the recent times. No one wants such a person in their team, right? They want someone who's a constant learner. Even in now at PayPal, we have a project, we want to develop a multi-platform project. So I'm learning Kotlin now. So Kotlin is something that we can develop on multi-platform, right? So every company looks for a constant learner. One way or the other way, you need to definitely mention things that tell another person who is looking into your resume that this guy is a constant learner. He learns. That is what is very important. So I made sure my resume looked like that, and I applied for PayPal, and I directly applied in the company's career site. So I was applied for so many things, and PayPal was one of them, and luckily I got a call from the HR.
That was really cool. Maybe we can go to the next section, like the interview process. Can you tell about the interview process, and also what is the eligibility criteria? So you currently working as a software engineer too, right? Can you tell about the eligibility criteria as well?
Sure. So my actually in my project, they have opened for software engineer 2 and the software engineer 3, it seems. So I have applied for. I was eligible for. Basically, I will give you this information. To eligible for software engineer 2, you at least needed 2 years of experience in software development previously. So and 2 to 5 years. If you are 5+ years, then you can able to apply for software engineer 3 as well. So that my profile was somewhere standing between 2 to 5. So that's the reason I applied for software engineer 2. And most probably most of the people, even I thought like whenever we are going for a software engineer 2 role, software development engineer 2 roles, there is a thing that we think that system design is a very mandatory round. Of course it is. There are lots of companies who ask system design even for the grads, actually, for even software engineer 1 roles. But for this particular role, and at PayPal, system design is not a thing. System design rounds are not a thing. So this I came to know by asking HR a question: what kind of roles we are going to have, what kind of rounds I'm going to have. I used to, whenever an HR calls, I make sure that I spend 5 to 6 minutes of time with him or her to really understand what is the kind of role that I'm getting selected in, what are the expectations, how many rounds it is, what kind of rounds, what they will ask. I'll try to grab as many as things. So that is what I did with PayPal as well. And he told like you're going to have a DSA round, maybe 1 or 2 questions first round, and second round will be something like an LLD and also coding. And third round, of course, managerial round. So this was the structure I got. So first round I it's a kind of a virtual round. Some PayPal software engineer was there in the call. I thought he'll be starting, he starts asking questions and I have to code it in somewhere notepad or something like that. I thought that is going to be the case, but it was so different that he sent a HackerRank link and he told to click on the link and start coding. So there was a HackerRank link he sent, and I clicked on it. It showed a you guys would have seen HackerRank, right? There will be a
Yeah.
question and there will be a place to code, and you have to submit the test cases. So there, the question was really a medium level question. It was like the question test your skill how you select a DSA, data structure. For example, there can be if there is a problem, you have to really think what kind of data structure will be helpful to solve this problem. So that's such kind of a question. So in that question, I was little bit stronger in EAPS when I was preparing the data structure, and luckily I got EAPS question actually.
Okay.
So I applied EAPS, and it like he gave me 45 minutes to solve the question. I solved it in 15 minutes. He was
Oh.
surprised actually. Oh, you have
Mhm.
30 minutes left. I was shocked because if he starts asking other questions, then that will be another problem. So I was like very worried. Then he told, okay, Vignesh, no problem. We'll finish the interview. This was the plan. Only one question we had for a medium level question. So I utilized the other time to catch up with him to ask what kind of project you guys are working on. Whether if I get selected, what will be the expectations for me? So I use that time to get his knowledge on what they are expecting on me, and and with that I got two things. The second round, he told like you are not going to be put on any system design rounds, because system design you need really good amount of preparation to sit on. And unfortunately I was not very much prepared on that point of time on system design round. So I was really worried about that, so I tried to get his knowledge on that, and he told, yeah, no, there is not going to be any system design round. There is going to be an LLD round where you there will be basic questions like Java, Spring Boot, um, SQL queries, and 50% goes to coding. Again, there were some DSA questions there. So second round when I went on, he started introducing myself. I started introducing myself, and he started asking some scenario based questions like say that for example, there is an API which is performing which is generating the response very slow, more than the expected time. How will you optimize it? Some such kind of a scenario based questions I've been asked for, and then basic Java, Spring Boot, whatever the interview questions, right? So such kind of questions was the case in that round, and followed by there were two I think two questions, two DSA questions, where it was very easy to medium. I can say easy. People who are really good in DSA, they will call it as easy. People who are in my case, I was okay in DSA, so I would say that is a medium question. So that was the case there, and yeah, then that call got over, and it took almost 10-15 days to come back actually. No response from their side. I thought like, okay, then I got rejected, I seen companies and all. I was already serving a notice period at that time. No, I was
Oh.
really worried actually, because I did well, but there is no call back from their side. So and then 15 days, I think after 2 weeks they called me back and said, we are happy with 2 rounds, and managers wanted to have a word with you in person. So these 2 rounds were virtual, and the another round which gone till 1 hour. First round is also 1 hour. Second round is also 1 hour, and third round they called me up with in person, because since I was in Chennai, the company is also in Chennai. They called me in person. The manager want to see in person and discuss basically a managerial round. And she was very like interactive. She came in like and discussed about what are the challenges you faced in your previous projects, basically, and again, why are you leaving your job? These kind of basic questions, managerial questions, of course. There was zero technical questions. All were
Mhm.
managerial questions. So that is how it went. It went for 45 minutes, and she was happy with my answers. So yeah, that is how it went.
There might be a chance that you might have an online assessment round as well, right? And also system design, excluding LLD, sometimes you might get a HLD as well, right?
To give you another view, I told, right, I completed two reviews, I mean 2 rounds, and I had a 2 weeks of gap, right? I didn't get any call back. So I thought I again started applying for another role in same paper. What happened is one of the HR mailed me that your profile looks good. We want to move it. Please complete this hacker rank test. It was an online test. So I think if you have an online test, you will have 4 rounds, including that online test. So there again, but in few cases, right, there might be a chances even for software engineer two roles, there might be system design roles, because it is purely based on what kind of project that you are giving interview with. If that is a very critical project, and they want an engineer who can really solve bigger problems, right? That is why system design is in place, right? So if that is the case, then definitely people will give you an online test. You have to complete that. Then there will be a DSA, kind of an LLD round. Then again, there might be chances of getting a system design. So there might be chances of 4 rounds there. So that would be the case. So what that you have to practice a lot in lead code. That would be the good preparation strategy.
Okay, so good that you mentioned about lead code. I about to ask this question, like how many problems did you solve in lead code, Vignesh? Is this an essential one to get a software development job? Because there is an hype going on social media, right? Like we need to solve this much of problem in order to get into the good company. So is that true? Can you explain that? Also, what about the design and other stuff? How did you prepare that? Not just a design, like basic essentials, right? Like the programmatic skills which we need to build. Can you tell about that? How did you prepare that?
So I would actually, my kind of journey was different, and what I would suggest will be different. Okay, first thing first, my journey was completely because since I joined Scalar, there were a complete good curriculum of DSA. Initially, it was 6 months of curriculum. So my almost 60% of DSA preparation was from Scala. So I would say I initially started with some medium level array string questions problems. So there where you will get used to the whatever the loops and whatever the things. So then I will it was the curriculum was structured in that way. Then the next thing will be something like some hard level, what to say, recursive problems and array based odd level problems. Then jump on to go getting into deeper into data structures, stacks, queues, dequeues, and whatever heaps, and these kind of things. Then backtracking, this was the flow that they have built. And so looking at that, what I will do is I will solve some problems there, and also I will search what are some advanced problems in that. For example, if you take stacks, right? If I have 5 problems there, I'll solve that there, and I will try to look into lead code some famous problems on stacks, and whatever the some famous problems on or lead code interview problems that I used to do. And again, I will go into gigs for gigs and to check out what are the PayPal questions that they have asked in the previously, what are all the DSA problems they have asked. So I used to check that and come back to lead code, search that, and I will solve those. So this is how my preparation was, especially talking about DSA. So, yeah.
Okay, what about the design and the technical stuff, Vignesh? Did you prepare it yourself, or did it also like because of your technical background, it helped you, or maybe it's a self preparation?
Basically, my technical background was not really strong when it comes to Java, Spring Boot, and all, because I was in a situation to work in my 4 years of experience, right, prior to PayPal. I was not really having things that I can show up and say that okay, I had really good technical knowledge in Spring Boot or Java, whatever the SQL, whatever it is. So what I did is like. I had some basic knowledge in Scalar. Again, coming to Scalar, I had basic knowledge in Java, Spring Boot. Then what I did is I took a Udemy course, which is named as Java Masterclass. It is Tim Puchalka's course. He's a really good instructor. I enrolled him in 2019, basically when we joined Wipro. That is the time I
Okay.
enrolled. Enrolled in
Mm-hmm.
that course. I never did that in the last 4 years. So
Mm-hmm.
this is the point of time that I know that I need to take this up. And luckily, that guy, what he did is like he updated the course recently with Java 17 modules, and that was a game changer actually for me. Because and talking about, and very importantly, I have to talk about rejections. You also have mentioned in your video. I have seen your video. Rejection is very important, guys, because I have almost rejected in 9 interviews. Okay, product based, service based, even service based, I got rejected because of the lack of knowledge in advanced Java. So
Java.
advanced
Yeah.
Java, advanced Spring Boot. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
I got rejected. So that is the learning curve, that because to take a course in Udemy, I have someone has to push you to take a course and go through 20 hours of modules, right? Because that
Yeah.
rejection pushed me to do that, because that 8 interviews, 9 interviews, anywhere at least one or two question will come up with something that I'd never heard of. you know
Mm-hmm.
um, so in one question, in one interview, I don't remember. It's been 3 months, because some words I've never. One of the interviewer asked, "Have you ever worked on Java 17?" I told, "You can ask me question. I will give a try." He asked, "What is record? What is record?" I never heard what is record, right? Because I probably prepared lambda streams, whatever the Java 8 interfaces, no default methods and interface. These kind of I have prepared Java 8 things. When he asked about Java 17 stuffs, I never heard of record. So I then went on to subscribe his course, and I sat for 1 month. I switched off all my Naukri, LinkedIn. I stopped applying. 1 month. 1 month I clearly thoroughly started preparing his course, and then I started to answer really good in Java interviews. Then I still got rejected in one or two interviews, which ended up no I then only I was able to prepare. No, I was able to perform very well at PayPal. All that rejections helped me. Also, this these kind of courses only gave me some. And of course, if I'm not wrong, bad. What is that article? Bad long. There is a Java articles. I know there I used to read lots of articles on Spring Boot, especially Spring Boot. Whenever the REST APIs and lots of advanced stuffs used to be there. We can share the link in the description
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
for the people.
Yeah.
Everyone knows
Sure. Sure.
basically that
Mm.
people who want to learn a lot, so they can use that.
Sure. Sure, Vignesh. Yeah, that is a lot of information. So yeah, definitely. So you talked
Mhm.
about scalar. Maybe we can go about that as well.
Depends, Deva, because one thing for someone like me, right, who didn't have any knowledge on DSA, who didn't know where to start from, who didn't have any good mentors, because see, just look into me. I was in an application engineering team. People surrounded by me were not that good in these kind of stuffs to take an advice from, right, to take a mentorship from. At least in your workplace, if you have some really good people who have did, and for example, say that you are working in XYZ company, and you see some person who's coming and joining in from a big company, and you can take advice from them, you can take mentorship from them. But if you are someone like me who never ever had a good knowledge in DSA, and you had no one to guide you, right? So in such kind of cases, you definitely have to take some courses like Scalar. There are lots of things, right? Bass Coder Academy and Great Learning, lots of things. But I selected Scalar because of the reason they had a really good curriculum. I gone through their curriculum; it was really good. It was a bit lengthy course because it took 1 year or almost. But still, it helped me in lots of cases, because for DSA and all, I really didn't know where to start. What are the things that I need to do? But there, when the Scalar curriculum helped me, DSA curriculum was really beautiful. Their curriculum is perfect, actually, to be honest. So that, and again, I talk about this, right? DSA is not the only thing. You
Mm.
should need something like, see, if you are a really good software developer already, for example, you are working in a startup, mid-level startup, or in a good service based projects. If that is the case, you would have already worked on a really good code base, right? You would have already gone through your seniors code base, your production code base and all. So, but for me, someone like me, I've never worked on a really good code base. I've never got a chance to, because I would say a good software developer is not someone who writes code from scratch, who solves DSA from hundreds of DSA, thousands of DSA code problems. No, he is not a good software developer. Someone who reads and understands another person's code is a good software developer. That's
Yeah.
what I felt. And particularly talking about reading others code, if you're someone who never had experience in your first 2 3 years, or you're coming out of your college graduating, you never had any internship experience. In these cases, you will never had a chance to read someone else's code and work on that, because at the end of the day, if you join a good company, right, for example PayPal, you will not be given a Vignesh, take it, this is your new project, you are going to work from scratch. No one is going to come and give you. There will be lots of microservices there. You need to understand how these things talk to each other. What are all the classes, what are all the interfaces, how it works. That is what is very important, right? So for me, how scalar helped is, they have a really good talking about DSA, whatever, they have a really good system design curriculum. When it comes to this system design, there again, what why are talking about system design, Vignesh? Again, there we will be developing things from scratch only, right? What is the reason behind talking about system? But here, Scalar, what they are doing is, in system design, what they have designed assignments in a way that they have designed their assignments in a way that it's a test driven development. Already the unit test cases will be written, and already there will be a really good code base, okay, and there will be some classes or some methods that will left empty. So you need to go inside that assignment, and for example, there is a, what to say, there is a high level, for example, I don't want to go into examples. I would say like that there is a good amount of application that is working. For example, I would say like Google Calendar kind of an application. So there, if you go, you'll have a really big code base. You have to go through all the classes, all the methods, and you need to understand how this code is going to work and what you need to do inside that code to make it complete. That is what the assignment is all about. So doing this will definitely help you, because that helped me a lot. When after getting selected at PayPal, I went into system design module. I was doing that in my Scalar. I was doing that already. I got selected. Why I'm going to do? I was doing very casually, but that thing helped me in my work, because again, I've given a project, and there were so many things, there are so many classes, so many interfaces. I just have to understand everything, and then I have to code it, right? So this really helped me a lot. So talking about DSA and other things are, we can do it anywhere. But if you are someone who never, as I already mentioned, who never had a good amount of experience in working in production code bases, then I would suggest you to take a course in any of the platforms. That is your wish, but I would suggest Scalar because of this particular system design route. I don't think anywhere in India they are doing such kind of things. But other than that, if you are if you are really good developer, you had really good experience. I just have to learn some DSA, some system design alone, no, to crack the interviews, to crack some product based interview. Then you can go with self-paced. You can refer to Geeks for Geeks DSA, DSA, I think program. I guess it's a live program. You can go ahead and do that. That will help you solve lots of lead code assignments problems. And other than that, you can learn. We have lots of content. Even in your channel, we have lots of system design things. So we can learn system design and LLD and DSA now in internet itself, because before 2 years it was not the case when I was doing. So that's the reason I chose Scalar. And again, the conclusion is, if you are someone like me who really don't have any mentoring or any idea to where to start, what to do, what is the roadmap, then you can opt for Scalar. That is what I would say.
Okay, sure, Vignesh. And we need to mention this is not a promotion video. You're just sharing your experience, right? So Scalar is really a nice platform. Similarly, there are a lot of other platforms as well. You have clearly mentioned that why we need this. If you have already base setup, maybe we can go with the self preparation itself. But in case if we really need someone's guidance and how where to start and that kind of awareness, right? Surely a company like Scalar will help you well, right?
That's right. it's in your hands. The decision is in your hands at the end of the day. If you
Yeah,
can able to
yeah.
do, if you have your confidence, you can go ahead. And if you want someone's help, it's not mandatorily you need to select Scala. If you have I don't have that much money, I cannot afford that much things, then go ahead and join Boss Coder. Boss Coder
Mm.
charges you around 85,000 only. So that is what it's on your hands. It's your choice. So that is how I would suggest. Yeah.
Sure, sure, Vignesh. That was really informative. So thank you so much, Vignesh. I think we are almost on time. We have only two more minutes of recording left. So yeah, maybe we
Sure.
can wrap up this session by if you have anything to say and any insights you need to share, maybe we can close with this note.
As I already told Deva, like rejections are the key. So when you are getting rejected, just make sure that what mistakes you are doing, just note down what mistakes you are doing. What are the areas of improvement that you need to do in terms of preparation. So this is a very important thing, and make sure try to attend lots of online tests if you want to get really good on DSA, right? Try to at least apply for some companies and try to, even if you are not ready to give interviews, right? If you want to
Mm.
get better at DSA, apply for some companies, take the online test, take online DSA test, because that would really help you to solve the problem in a very stipulated time. See, if you sit and solve a DSA problem, you never know how much time you are taking, right? 20-25 minutes.
Mm.
Some people will take 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Some will take 1 hour, 1.5 hour. I have sit in a problem for 2-3 days and all. So that is not how you can approach it in the interview. You have a very stipulated time, very constrained time, like before 2 hours you need to finish 3 problems. So in that cases, take lots of tests outside. So even in that case also, for me, Scalar helped me a lot, because
Mm.
contests, they used to 2 weeks once they used to give you DSA contest. Say there
Mm.
we can learn, like, in 2-3 hours how to solve 3 to 4 problems. So that is one of the main advice that I would need to tell to the people. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Sure, Vignesh. Thank you so much. Thank you so much
Sure.
for
Then.
joining us today and sharing us your incredible journey with us. Yeah, I think a lot of people who are seeing this video, definitely they are going to get something out of it. So they can reach out to you directly in LinkedIn, or maybe I can provide your LinkedIn
Sure.
link in our description as well. So once again, Vignesh, thank you so much. All the best for your career.
Sure, Deva. Thank you for your videos as well, because you are doing really great, Deva. Because this is a knowledge that even, and you are doing it in Tamil especially, and whatever Chennai-based software developers badly need your kind of videos, basically, because
Yeah, yeah.
as a Chennai boy, I know that we initially, only very few people have got chance to take mentor from others, right? Most of us will look into YouTube or LinkedIn to get such kind of a mentoring. So you are doing really great. So keep up your work as well, Deva.
Thank you. Thank you so much.